stream and see if everything is starting correctly. It's the moment of truth.
So I got a question: Is it going to do that countdown thing, like for premieres?
I don't think so.
Or does it just instantly start?
I think it instantly starts. If I have understood things,
It looks like it looks good.
Awesome. Let's see if there we go. My camera flipped out a bit there, but I think we are live now with some cozy jazz music in the background as well. Gonna tone that a bit down. Gonna go away. The jazz music is gonna go away eventually. For those who don't like jazz, it's just a little warm welcome for some people. Let's hear with the people who are currently here watching. Can you hear me and can you hear hockey all right? Can you see us clearly? All that good stuff. They probably can. Mr. Trollface dude, I have arrived.
One of these people in chat is calling me a Jason ripoff.
A Jason ripoff.
My username came from, but I'm used to it.
Hockey masked gamer. So it wasn't originally Jason related, was it?
Well, okay. Part of it kind of was because I do love Friday the 13th. But it was also because I used to watch a YouTuber called H2O Delirious.
Oh, I love that guy.
And he, oh yeah, you know him.
Oh yeah,
he's so great. So yeah, that's also kind of where my name came from.
I see. I watched Delirious a lot, or rather, I watched Vanos Gaming, I think they're called.
Yeah, Vanos Gaming.
And I watched them actually mostly because of Delirious, because his laugh is so darn contagious. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, but from the comments live chat. I'm not really used to having a live chat. It seems that we are good to go. So we are gonna.
So I can tell you this right now. The way the chat's gonna work is essentially what I'm seeing right now. We're kind of like, I want to say maybe 5 seconds of delay. So what we're saying right now won't show up until like 5 seconds later.
Okay. That's that's good to know. So if we ask some questions, for example, then it can take. We'd have
to wait maybe a second or two.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that's good to know. So we have a live audience with us.
We got a spammer.
We got a spammer, indeed, Jake Hard. Let's get that guy out of here.
I don't know why people got to be like that.
No idea. Create some attention, I guess. So we are here, live audience. That was originally not part of the plan because I had no faith that I would have this setup up and working, but it is working. So I'm happy with that. So it's better than recording it beforehand and posting it. Having it live, it's much more fun because then you can interact with people.
Yeah.
So we are live. I am Triple Wario. I'm here with Hockey Masked Gamer. We can introduce yourself. Give us a few words about who are you.
Yeah. Okay. So, 22 years old. I play way too many video games. Mainly horror games. Those are my favorite.
Same.
And I do a little music on the side, which is what most people know me for some reason.
Your music has gotten really good because I think, at least I remember when you started getting, into music production, and now you are making really good music for because you have posted a lot that I've heard. It's starting to get you can see the progression, and you can see the progression fast. It's kind of impressive, actually, what you have accomplished with just music alone. You should keep.
Yeah, because before I had no sort of knowledge of music theory or any sort of practice. It was all self-taught.
Wow. It's impressive. And that just shows that education, it's good, but it's not everything. You know, when people ask what you're educated in, or when you get a job and people ask, you know, what's your education, feel education is a bit overrated, and just pure experience is underrated.
Yeah, I agree. It honestly feels like you learn more if you experiment.
Yes, absolutely. Because you can get a lot of theory and everything, and that's all well and good, but if you cannot put it into practice, then suddenly your education is just some words on a paper, and that's it. But experience. There, my camera got back. It's a bit finicky, but if we'll just have to live its own life.
Oh man, it's doing it again. I don't know what that is.
I think my my face cam froze a bit there as well.
It could be my connection, honestly.
Yeah, because 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 it affects it can affect the whole conversation, I guess. So we are
actually that could be the case because we're recording a call.
We are recording a call, indeed. We are live streaming, and I'm streaming it as well. So yeah, so many things that could affect the connection here. So we just have to roll with it and see if the cameras lag a bit behind. They're just gonna have to live their own little life, I guess. As long as our voices come through, I think that's the most important part. That you can hear what we're gonna say. So we don't really have, you know, any plan for what we're going to talk about, but I did put up a little topic list in case we, you know, need some focus in on what we're going to talk about, because this can go into all directions.
Hold on. Wait a second. I have no idea what's going on, but like your audio is like coming and going.
It's coming and going, living its own life. Yeah, I guess.
I don't know if it's doing that on the stream though. That's the thing.
Could be. Let's ask the people who are watching. Does our voices jump in and out, or is it just the video feed? Because the video
MLS is saying we can hear you guys fine. It's just the video is randomly buffering for a second.
Then that's all good. That's well and good, as long as our voices are heard. All right, that sounds fine. There we go.
I got a question. How does moderation work for like YouTube? Because I think you might need some moderators.
I have no idea. I've never done that before.
Well, I guess that'll have to be something we'd look towards in the future.
Absolutely. I think to avoid some spamming problems again, I think a moderation system would be in place. We will. We'll figure that one out, and hopefully we won't encounter too many issues there today. But we'll see. But we'll get some moderators for sure later on to take care of stuff.
One moment, Andy. I'll be right back.
Sure. So while hockey is gone, we can talk about all kinds of stuff. For example, we have Dr. Fork. You're a member, aren't you? I think you joined as a member, and that's nice. If you guys want to support the channel in some ways, you can join the membership. You can get some nice perks for it. Basically, the idea for this podcast, TripleTake, as I call it, which is a little funny reference for the name Triple Wario, as you might have guessed. The idea is to have 3 different takes, aka 3 different opinions, on various topics that we talk about. Now, obviously, we are just 2 people here today. This is mostly because this is the first episode. It's the start. We're taking it slow. We are testing things out. You know, these things happen. Technical stuff happens. So this first episode is a good opportunity to test stuff, to play around with the equipment, to play around with how this works because I've never done this before, not in this capacity. But further on, in future episodes, we're going to be 3 people, 1 new guest each time. Me and Hockey, plus 1 more. So that third person, that guest, is going to be different each episode. We're going to have a lot of interesting people in here. Hence the name Triple Take. 3 different takes, 3 different opinions on various things that we talk about. That's the general gist of it. And these things can be everything from games that we like, what we like to do on hobbies, discussing films, discussing finance of Warios, or anything else that goes on in our lives, or any other topic that we kind of get into. And I think we can do a lot of cool stuff with that. Hockey is back. Nice.
Yep, I'm here.
Sorry,
I had to move my car. So
was it blocking someone or something?
Yeah, I parked in my sister's parking space, and she gets really serious about that.
I see. What kind of car do you have?
It is a 2020 Trex.
Nice. I recently bought. It was in December 24. I bought a Toyota Prius from 2017. It's a hybrid. I'm very happy with it. Solid, safe. It's not much.
It's good.
Yeah, I like it. It's not really much. It's not the most fancy car in the world when you compare it to what exists, but it gets the job done, and I like it.
Yeah, any other car I've driven. So.
Nice. So we are. I did have a little. I actually did have a little topic list because we could really talk about anything and everything for hours, which would be really fun. But I don't think any of us have time to talk until morning, which we could have done. Could be fun taking all night.
That's true.
So I did put up a little topic list that is not really strict, but just so if we get off track, sure, no problem. Just to have something concrete to talk about. So I first want to ask you something, Hockey, because we met through Finance and Warios, right, in the Discord server, and I don't really know, or I don't really remember how and when you got introduced to Finance and Warios. Was it just something you stumbled upon, or did you hear it from others?
Yeah. So you probably know I heard it through Markiplier. He played the first game, and I thought the series was really interesting. But then again, I followed a lot of fan games at the time. One thing I did like, though, was how you sort of changed up the formula, especially when 3 came around. That was really interesting at the time. So yeah, that's how I got introduced.
Nice. 2 seconds, Hockey. I will put on this little idle image here, so I can just quickly jump into the live stream here and do a little moderator job here. Let's see.
Right.
There we go. I think we should be a little better now. Okay, we're back. Now, that's awesome. And after that, you have made quite a lot of stuff. I think, if I'm not wrong, this is also how you kind of got into more of making music, and because you started making some music for Finance and Warios and the story video that I made and stuff like that, right?
I think the thing that really kicked off, yes, I was fascinated by the music, but that was only because you were the sole composer at the time. Then when Director's Cut came out, I loved the soundtrack so much, And I didn't realize who number one Jenny was until the soundtrack video came out. That was the first time I ever heard of number one Jenny.
Mm.
And that really kicked off my music composition.
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I remember you saying that number one Jenny was an inspiration in that regard.
It was a large inspiration.
Yeah, and me as well, because I think, if I'm not wrong, I think the first Finals of Wario's fan game that had, original music was Trapped Within from Taggy, Epic Taggy, and I remember, seeing the trailer for that game, and I heard a rendition of the Finals of Wario's theme that I hadn't heard before, which really took me by surprise, because composing original music for a FNAF game was not common back then. So hearing someone else had made a rendition of the Finance of Ours team was really cool. It was really cool, and that was Jenny, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, it was Jenny, and I think that was actually the first Five Nights at Wario's project that he was part of.
I think so. Yeah. And I think that was also my introduction to Jenny, I think, which is also how we really got to talk, and how we got into the deluxe team and everything. His music is really good.
Ooh, speaking of deluxe team, I remember I think it was maybe the second time we talked.
Mm-hmm.
You had said that you wanted me originally as part of the deluxe team, because you explained the plan to me even before the announcements came out.
Yeah,
and I thought it was brilliant. I'm honestly glad you did have on board, because for like my free times, I'll like use them.
Oh, I lost your bit there, Hockey.
If that
The
makes sense.
connection was a bit bad when you said honestly something,
man.
and I lost you once again.
Okay, so I just don't have the free time that I had a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you left it up to just Jeb and Jenny and Cry for translation.
Yeah, we. I think the team works, and I'm glad also that you don't commit yourself to something that you feel would be too much, that you say no instead. That's positive, because
instead of trying to and then just collapsing during the progression.
Exactly. And because deluxe games, or the games in general, it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of commitment, all of that kind of stuff. Even when you're a team, it takes time, it takes work, it takes dedication, teamwork, conversation, communication, all that stuff. So it is a ton of work that goes into it. Now, when I think about it, have you made what kind of stuff within Finance of Warriors have you made or worked on? What kind of projects are you involved in this series?
We're talking about fan stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the only really public thing is part of Cabin Fever, and the sort of main composition of Cabin Fever 2.
Okay.
I was one of the main composers.
Oh yeah, right. You were. Nice. How was that experience to work with Taggy on those?
Honestly, it was pretty. It felt pretty good. I felt very proud of what I had provided, and honestly, I would have done graphics as well, but it seemed like they already had enough editors, so I just refrained from that and thought I'd just help Jenny with the music.
Okay, I see. just going to do a quick little check in here once again. Let's see. There we go. All right,
FNAF
we're
1
back.
needs a new. What does that even mean?
Needs a new. I don't know. No real idea.
It needs a new.
It needs a new something. No, or just needs a new.
Yep.
That's it. That brings me to something else because we can talk about Five Nights at Wario's and Five Nights at Freddy's and all that kind of stuff for days. But I'm also curious about, because you say you like horror games, for example, and you like and you play a lot of games in general. I do as well. What kind of other games outside of FNAF and FNAF and this family of games? What other games are you playing that we don't know about?
Let's see. So I guess you can call some of it just very common. Like I dabble in Gary's mod because it's just so much fun to mess around with. I'm a big fan of the Outlast series, which if you don't know what it is, it's essentially sort of a psychological horror game. A mental asylum with all these deranged patients. The second game is sort of a village that is worshiping this, I guess you can call God. And it has like really strange properties. And then the newest one, Outlast Trials, is a multiplayer experience where it goes straight back to the mental institution.
Yeah. Nice. Interesting.
Oh yeah.
I've heard about
Great.
it, a lot about that series. I've never played it because I'm too scared. It's simple as that.
You would jump every single time at the Outlast Trials. They find some way to get you.
I would assume so, and I jump from the smallest little thing. So Outlast would probably
No way,
do that.
really?
I do. My body is very
That's crazy.
reactive, responsive to. It jumps very easily. It jumps very quickly from nothing. So Outlast.
I guess that's good for like a self-defense type of thing.
I think so.
You're very reactive.
Very reactive. Sometimes a bit too much. More than I wish I was. From the smallest little sounds. Ironic, since I've made horror fan games for the last 10 years. It has not helped on anything.
It hasn't helped.
It hasn't helped on anything when it comes to immunity to scares, jumps, or even predicting when they come.
I'm somewhat immune.
Thanks to Outlast? Or?
Yeah, I guess you could say that because I rarely get scared. In fact, every once in a while I'll try to speed run the first game because
Nice.
I pretty much know everything there is about it. And I think the best time I had gotten was exactly 2 hours.
Wow. Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I can.
It's not leaderboard material, but it's pretty good.
Nice. If you start to speedrun, I imagine if you start to speedrun horror games, then I can imagine it kind of gives you a more confidence to not be scared as easily because it may make you feel like you are owning the game and not the other way around.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I personally, I don't play a lot of horror games. I watch very many horror films, but I don't play a lot of horror games. Actually, I am a huge fan of. The thing is, I have a little problem of kind of committing to a game, to sit down with a new game and play it all the way through. I don't know why, but I have a problem in that regard. But there are some games where they're just so good and so they hit what I look for in the game so well that I have no problem to not just play through them, but play them through them over and over and over again. Hollow Knight, for example, is one of those. The Binding of Isaac, I think that is the game I have the most hours in out of any game ever.
Yeah, you've streamed that game before.
I have streamed that game before. Right. I forgot
Yeah,
that.
I remember your. Which, by the way, I think somebody asked if they were going to be public or not anymore.
They will be public. Yeah. I think they went private when my channel got hacked. Every video got privated.
Yes. Yeah, every video got privated. That was just terrifying.
That was terrifying.
That somebody attacked you like that.
Yep. It was replaced with scam Tesla streams. With
Tesla USA, which sucks.
Yep. And it was so obvious an Elon Musk AI voice that was talking over the conference.
We have a gifted membership from Dr. Fork.
What? Okay, you have to fill me in. What does that exactly mean? It is awesome.
So essentially, Dr. Fork bought a membership for someone.
Wow. That's really cool.
Yeah, man.
That's
great.
Is it for a specific user? Is that how it works, or is it?
It is for I believe this thing lasts for a month.
Nice.
And then afterwards, the subscription is just like stopped.
Wow.
Like it's not a continuous payment unless you're paying for it yourself.
Right. That's generous.
Yeah, that's still pretty good though.
That's really good. It's very generous. Then some more people can get some videos early and stuff like that. And so yeah, The Binding of Isaac, love that game, and it is maybe unpopular to say so, but I like Call of Duty because I've been a fan for so many years. So I play that quite a lot.
Oh, yeah, my dad loves Call of Duty. He's honestly me and him will go like team up against a bunch of bots, and
Nice.
I don't think I'm that good. He says I'm pretty good. I don't see it.
I think you should trust that. I think you should trust your dad on that one.
I guess I'm my own worst enemy because you think that I'd praise what I'm good at, but then I'm like, I could use a little work.
That is usually the thing. We are everyone our own worst enemy in the end. It's a judging little guy sits on our shoulders to most of us and say stuff, and that's the voice we believe in the most. So we gotta smack that guy away.
Don't worry, MLS. It's all right. You don't have to donate. It's completely optional.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I thought about it as well.
I appreciate the thought, though.
Oh yeah, just the fact that you want to says a lot. And I think when you talk about other games and FNAF as well, I think it was not long ago when I got an idea to make a video about games now versus before. When I tried to take off my nostalgia goggles and see that not everything was better before, because it wasn't. If a game shipped with a bug, then you had that bug. It wasn't something that could be fixed the day after. You had to either live with it or you had to wait for a special edition to be launched and buy.
Yeah, because there were no patches.
There were no patches, so it was a weird kind of charm to it. Older versions of games became more valuable or more more sought after. Video games would and then
then you got common ones like the Minus World in the first Super Mario Brothers.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And for example, I have an N64 cartridge still of Turok Rage Wars, which I think it was a special edition of it. I can't remember if it was the earliest one or the latest one, which fixed some stuff. I can't remember, but it had a specific color which was not rare, but it wasn't the most common one. So a charming thing with all the games was that it sucked a bit when if that was the case today and bugs couldn't really be fixed immediately, people would obviously get mad because that's what we're used to. But it had kind of a charm
Right.
that bugs became more memorable and became more part of the game's identity, and different versions of the game became more special, became more memorable. And but now, we have just one version of the game with tons and tons and tons and tons of small little patches. But so that is the thing I think is both, a negative and a positive with all the games. But I think overall, the fact that we have the privilege to have modern games with patches that can fix stuff and improve stuff and add stuff, it is really cool. At the same time, I think it also comes with a little negative because it clearly has resulted in developers or publishers publishing games before they probably should have. They patch or they launch with more bugs than they would if they were released 20 years ago.
You mean getting it out early?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So there have been more than a few times, I think, when games launch with more bugs than they probably should have. They launch unfinished because they just launch it to get sales and then they can fix stuff later. But maybe later takes a week, a month, several months, and the damage has already been done then. So the fact that we are a bit spoiled, both as players and developers, I think, that we have this option because now we can get unfinished games on launch. But before, when you didn't have that option, you had to be much more careful that the game was, properly tested and not just
a good example. So I don't know if you ever heard about this, but Friday the 13th made a game back in 2017. And when they first launched it, I think it was in the beta stage. There were a ton of bugs.
Okay.
So it's a Jason versus 8 survivors. The survivors could, for some reason, hit Jason out of the map, and the game would end immediately. There were instances where you can use a car to escape, or you can get it stuck somewhere and then just launch yourself up in the air.
Okay. Wow.
Those bugs are pretty funny, but some of them were self-locking.
Okay, yeah, that's not good. The mode that I enjoy the most is the zombies mode, which is a very popular side mode in many Call of Duty titles. It's become very popular. It's a round-based survival mode with side quests and Easter eggs and
I've played a few of them.
Yeah, and it's grown
I got a really good idea.
Yeah, and the thing is, usually those games launch, they're fully playable. But then a game called Call of Duty Vanguard released a World War II Call of Duty. I think it was in 2021. And that zombies mode was so unfinished that it is not just the worst released zombies mode that has been in Call of Duty, but is it is the most unfinished game I have played at launch because that zombies mode had so many things going wrong. You'd had muzzle flash on the guns that would just freeze. You had enemies that had animations that didn't work. You had it's a monkey bomb, which is a special equipment you can get. A symbol monkey, which had no sound effects playing, pausing. The game would constantly crash. Enemies would stop moving. There were no side quests or anything in the map, which usually is a staple for zombies now. And even maybe one of the most important things in zombies is wonder weapons, which is, each map has at least one of these unique, special, powerful weapons that is unique to each map. This map didn't have anything it was the worst launch experience of a game I've ever had. And I think, again, if this had happened 20 years ago, back on what, PlayStation 1, GameCube, this era, this would not have happened because releasing a game in that state is not something you can just, we'll fix it over the next couple of weeks. Didn't work like that.
Andy, I think we can hear your like an alarm in the background.
That's the alarm of my office. God damn. Let's see if I can.
Is someone breaking in?
There's someone breaking in now. I don't know why this keeps turning on. It is turning on at random intervals in this building, but it doesn't last long. But Hockey, why don't you talk a bit about your experience with Call of Duty while I mute myself until this thing is over, okay?
All right. Okay. Well, to be honest, I really have no experience with Call of Duty. In fact, any time I would play Call of Duty, it would be with my dad. He's much more of a Call of Duty nerd than me. Our favorite thing is going up against bots, like just the hardest bots possible. I think veteran mode, if I'm not mistaken, and just getting our asses handed to us. I mean, it was a good way to bond. Is what I see. And I never really played like online multiplayer. I did play campaign modes for Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3.
Nice.
And I don't think I'll find a Call of Duty game with a better story than that.
I haven't played them myself, but I heard those stories are great. Yeah,
they are great, especially the ending of Modern Warfare 3, which I won't say.
I've heard stuff about that as well. Not what happens, but just that it is a fight. It is good. It's good stuff. The original Modern Warfare. So yeah, I think you're right, because I've heard people say that the new Modern Warfare trilogy that came out in the last couple of years, the campaign of Modern Warfare 3 is horrible of that one. So I
wonder how much it's changed.
Yeah, I have no idea really. I don't know what was so bad about the campaign, because I haven't played it. If it is the writing or that it was very short, or all of it. And speaking of that, of playing Call of Duty and stuff, when it comes to, if you look away from gaming as well, do you have what kind of things, to learn a bit more about you, what other things do you like to do in your spare time? Hobbies that you have?
Well, I did used to draw a lot. I would carry a sketchbook anytime I just went to school. And I would it actually started off with Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics, believe it or not.
Nice, cool.
And then I'll actually have to send you a couple pictures of my my art from back then, but it was pretty good. It's better than anything I can do now, because that just kind of like faded off.
You don't think learning to draw is like learning to ride a bike, that you can just pick up right where you left off?
I think it's more, I've kind of moved on. I've found something new, and it's more, I got no motivation to go back.
Yeah, that makes sense. I used to draw a lot too, and I stopped for many years. And funnily enough, I picked it back up again a couple of months ago. Just drawing random stuff, whatever came to mind.
Yep. You drew a Wario. You drew a couple Gasper Empire things, which honestly, they look great.
Thanks. I tried to, when I got back into it, try to look at and study anatomy, the body, and how how the body really is built up and how to draw them and stuff. And I got a bit better on it, and it's fun. It's fun to draw. And something I also found to be very fun is to have use, for example, Gemini or ChatGPT or something, and then ask them for a very random and strange prompt that I can draw. Just to test, get some strange ideas to draw. I tried that.
I mean that is smart.
Yeah, and it's very fun too. I did it last time yesterday, and I got a prompt of a huge pizza with a mustache running away from an angry chef, for example. That was fun to draw. So I think that's a cool way.
Are you sure that wasn't just Pizza Tower?
Maybe. He did look strangely similar to Peppino, the little chef that I drew in the background. So it could actually be Pizza Face and Peppino when you think about it. A little fan art.
Yeah, exactly.
Strangely enough, I didn't really think about that.
That's funny.
Oh, I should show that. I haven't taken any pictures of it.
Oh, please do. Honestly, please do.
Well, I definitely will.
Just post it on Twitter.
I'm going to post it on Twitter. I'm going to do that tonight when I get home. I have the drawing there. It is finished. It is done the line work and no shading, but it's something, at least. Now there's a question that I think is very interesting to discuss. I have discussed it more on my thoughts on it in a separate video actually, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it. And what I'm thinking of is not Five Nights at Wario's, but Five Nights at Freddy's. It has changed a lot over the years from when it started with Scott Cawthon to where we are now.
With Steel Wool, yes.
With Steel Wool. And I am interested to hear, because while I'm not really that engaged and active in the Five Nights at Freddy's community at all, I can imagine that there is a lot of mixed opinions on where the series has gone in many different ways and for many different reasons. What's your stance, modern Five Nights at Freddy's, with how it has turned out? What's your thoughts?
Well, if we're talking about from a story point, I honestly feel like it should have ended after Ultimate Custom Night. Because, I mean, it's pretty much... The story's pretty much at an end. I mean, I don't know how much you know about it, but the game prior, everybody burned. So there was nothing left.
Yeah.
And then Ultimate Custom Night is essentially the purgatory that William Afton, the killer, is in.
Oh yeah, right.
Facing everything that has come into contact with his crimes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the lore of Ultimate Custom Night.
And I will say the one Steel Wool game I do like, that's Five Nights at Freddy's built, is Help Wanted. I loved that just for the scare factor. I feel like if you played it in VR, you'd shit yourself.
Yes.
I kid you not. Especially on the main menu screen. So there's the three animatronics. You got Freddy, Bonnie, and then Chica.
Okay.
Foxy is right behind you when you turn around.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And what makes it even more terrifying is the eyes follow you. And I don't know if you've experienced VR, but it's essentially like you're looking in another world. Like you can see stuff out of the corner of your eyes. It's insane.
Wow. I unfortunately have not experienced any VR yet. So a Five Nights at Freddy's game, I hope so as well, because I hear people say so much how immersive it is. I want to experience it, and I can imagine the gameplay of Five Nights at Freddy's in VR, which was a big talk about it was talked about a lot already in the first game, how this game is built for VR, really. Um, I have said a lot of my own thoughts on where Freddy's has gone in my other video, and like I said there, I am happy to be corrected, because I have not played Help Wanted. I have not played Security Breach or the Ruin DLC. So I don't know the full gameplay, even though I watched gameplay of it, and I don't know the story at all. Much of it, I know, there's Vanessa and Willem Afton is a virus in a computer or something. That's the gist of it that I know.
So yeah, I could clarify this. I could be wrong though, but I believe that this whole new William Afton is not the same one that was in Ultimate Custom Night.
Okay.
I think that one is just buried in the ground, dead.
Okay.
And then this is essentially a copy.
Okay.
Just some kind of copy, because from what I've heard, the way this thing was created was it was scanned into a video game, which is Help Wanted. And that thing essentially took a virus.
Okay.
Took form into a virus.
So all of Help Wanted is a video game within a video game kind of situation?
Yes.
Yeah.
You are a beta tester.
Okay. Right. All right. Yeah, that's that clears it up a bit. I know, I don't think I know for sure too that my opinions on FNAF now is tainted a bit by nostalgia, because there is something about the classic feeling of anything compared to how things turned out, and that's gonna taint your opinion a bit anyway. But I, purely based on what I know and purely based on what I've seen, and purely based on that, where again I can be completely wrong and everything, I am not a huge fan of what I've seen of where the series has gone, and one of the reasons for that is I think the whole premise and concept of Five Nights at Freddy's only really works when it is on a smaller scale, because having animatronics that are coming to life should, or at least, being possessed of some kind, it should be something special, and it should be something that is very exclusive, and it should not be something that is a common occurrence, because then it goes from a supernatural unique event to something that is a common occurrence in this universe. And if it is a common occurrence, it loses all of its magic. It would be like if Dragon Ball Z originally was a story of only normal humans, and then there was one that maybe come from another planet, but that had key powers and everything, and then later on it turned into something where there's multiverses and everyone can do Kamehameha and everything. It would be similar to that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know much about Dragon Ball Z, but I do know that I do know enough to know that there are like multiple supernatural beings, like all powerful.
Yeah, that's. I haven't watched a lot of Dragon Ball either. I love what I've seen so far, and I really want to, see everything. It looks really cool, and I've played a lot of the games. And luckily, Dragon Ball is a kind of game where these rules are established from the beginning. But with a game like Five Nights at Freddy's, it has this confined concept where everything is in this small local pizzeria that is seemingly normal, but they're under the surface of this small pizzeria. There are dark things that have happened, which has resulted in very, very rare supernatural stuff going on, and that results in animatronics maybe move on their own, maybe not. You're not really sure, but when you switch to the camera again, they are not in the same place, and it has gone from that in a small single pizzeria with dark personal secrets. It has gone from that to something where there are so many animatronics. There are so many. There are so many of them that it's not special anymore, and you have it's not unique anymore when you have a new animatronic. It is just one of many. They have personalities and they have wants and needs, and they talk like they were humans. And it has gone so far, again, based on just what I know, it has gone so far to where the whole animatronic coming to life thing does not it does not have that same immersion anymore. It doesn't feel as realistic anymore, and thus it also loses its scare factor to me. Now it feels more like a fantasy world than a science fiction mystery world, if that makes sense.
Well, it feels like it started off supernatural,
Mm-hmm.
and then it kind of took it took a weird turn to more sci-fi
Mm-hmm.
with Sister Location,
Yeah.
and then it tried to, I don't even know what you'd call the sixth game, Pizzeria Simulator, a tycoon.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
good name for it.
it's jumped a lot. And back on what you were saying, what is my take on this? I think I kind of stopped following Five Nights at Freddy's because it lost its scare factor. Because back then, I had nightmares about the first game. I kid you not, it was so bad that I couldn't even sleep in my own bed.
Wow. Then a game does its job
Yeah.
well.
Yes. I it was an insane experience, and the funny thing is I would play it in the dark in on my grandmother's like old computer that had pretty much like, it was, how do I describe it? So it was like a long hallway that led to that room.
Mm-hmm.
And like the whole thing was just pitch black, and the door would always be open.
Oh man.
So yeah, playing the demo really fucking scared me.
Yeah, I can imagine. Really. And I know for the fourth game, I know many people think that the animatronics are, overly designed to be these. They are overly horrific to the point where they are not scary anymore. But in my opinion, I think maybe the fourth game has the atmosphere that scares me the most, not because of their designs, but because it feels very much like a nightmare, like you described. It is a type of a nightmare that we have, especially maybe as children. And I think FNAF 4 captures that so well. The fact that you are in this bedroom, you are in a child's perspective, and you peek out of the hallway.
Yeah, and you can't really see them.
You can't see them, and you feel
You'll see glimpses, but it's so small you think nothing of it.
Yes.
And then when they get there, it's, you got to listen.
Yes.
And that's one thing I
I think I lost you a bit there, Hockey.
It's all sound based. I hate this in a good way, but the fourth game is all sound based.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it so much more terrifying.
It does. The fact that you open a door, there's pitch black outside, and you know that maybe something is standing right here in front of you. Maybe. That's terrifying. And it has this surrealism that is very common in nightmares. I used to have nightmares in my own house where hallways were slightly different and it was surprisingly empty for people, which is exactly what FNAF 4 is. It is taking place in your own home, but there is something that is very off.
Something's wrong.
Something's wrong, yeah. So I think FNAF 4 has a brilliant atmosphere, and I think I started to fall off or stopped, following the game the series about around the same time as you. I played Sister Location. I really enjoyed or respected what Scott did because it was very different. With
Hmm.
Pizzeria Simulator, something happened. I don't know what, but I think the game is actually quite good and has this really good. It has some very cool ideas that I think are executed well, but something changed with it where it started to take itself a bit less seriously. I feel there was a bit more of this meta comedy to everything of how absurd everything is. And that can be a good thing, but
Hmm.
for me, I started to notice there that something was, changing. And of course, after that came Ultimate Custom Night with 100 gazillion characters, and that's where I
Yes.
really fell off a bit. Um, so I think again that Five Nights at Freddy's is a series that worked as well as it did because of how confined and limited it was. The mystery was limited because, and when they expanded that to the degree they have, it doesn't have that identity that made Five Nights at Freddy's into what it is anymore. So I think FNAF should have. I do think FNAF should have either stopped at more animatronics and more new animatronics and more of the supernatural stuff like an animatronic using a human skin in order to escape, and all of these things. I think.
Yeah, that's. And then now we got in the current game this thing called the Mimic,
Oh yeah.
which apparently can replicate anything in the history. So it could have been literally anywhere in the previous games. It,
Wow.
it could it could have been impersonating William Afton for all we know.
Wow.
Yeah, that's kind of where I like draw the line. Like, okay, so you're telling me like this didn't happen. You're changing this. The story. Scott even said that he some stuff he doesn't even remember,
Mm,
uh, like what he said during that time.
yeah.
Like it's something that he never came back to, like the box
Mm,
in the fourth game.
yeah.
We never knew what was in that, and he even stated that he didn't even know.
That's true. That's true. And I think what you're saying about the mimic here, going back to previous games, previous lore, and changing it. I think it sometimes can work if that plot point or that element or whatever didn't have a proper explanation before, but now you're giving it a context and it fits and builds onto the story. Um,
Right.
I think it can work then, but because uh, that's what at least I like to try to do. I'm not doing it perfect at all, but I try to do it with Wario's to. If there are questions in the past that are
I
unanswered, I like to go back and add on to or give more context that still makes sense and
yes.
expands on what is. But if I go back and say, for example, that I don't know that Wario was throughout all of these games, Wario was really another guy, a character in a costume, and Wario has been dead this whole time, which doesn't make sense with how Wario acted in the story and stuff. Then you're changing stuff for the sake of it, for a shock value, and I don't think that works. So going back and retconning stuff, it's scary, but I think if you recontextualize stuff, it can work. But with this mimic thing, it sounds more like a
Hmm.
kind of retcon that I don't like.
I think it's interesting because when like so for instance when you showcased Dry Wario,
Hmm.
we didn't know how his face really burned off until the I think the first full story is when we knew
Hmm.
that Bowser burned it off, and that's essentially why Bowser never appeared in the third game because he the curse was taken off of him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's stuff I like to do, and I hope they work when, again, it makes sense and it adds on to what already is, and it builds on something more and connects stuff. I like to do that, and I have a good feeling about it. For example, in the third game, when you use the music box to lure down Bruno into the cellar. When I made that originally, I didn't really have any lore explanation for it. I just thought there has to be, something players have to collect in order to reach the true ending, and a music box is creepy and it makes noise, so it can lure down Bruno, and it's a mansion, so a kid lived here, Richard. So having a music box could make sense, but it didn't have, any real reason for why that would work. It didn't have an explanation for that. But later on, when I started to build on Bruno as a character and giving backstory and context, and him having a daughter, which was his main motivation for stuff, I didn't plan for it, but certainly I thought, oh shit, those two make sense. They can click together quite nice. Music box. He hears a music box, a kid's music box. He thinks about his daughter all the time. Maybe his daughter had the same kind of music box. That's why he comes down here, because he thinks of his daughter. And it makes sense without, erasing anything and drastically changing anything. It just adds on to. I think those things can work. I hope so, at least. Again, things that add on to and explain things and give context without wiping out what already is and drastically changing it to something else.
Yeah, you're just changing it slightly, fine-tuning it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And if FNAF is going in the route of, what should I say, devaluing the original games, which had this intense mystery story, not sure how I feel about that, but I
It's
guess
become way too complex.
it has been, it has become too complex. What started as a story about a pizzeria with possessed animatronics has become this huge thing.
Then you find out that a guy murdered 5 kids, and then third game you meet the killer himself. I mean, those were good, but then when it was like, oh, it wasn't actually 5 kids, it was 6, and oh, wait a minute, these suits that could be worn, there was actually a bunch of different animatronics that had this feature, and it's like, what?
Yep.
So
it changes stuff. I mean, there's a reason why MatPat had like 600 theories, because things were changing quite a lot.
Yep.
And they're still going. I think, at least.
Well, MatPat isn't.
MatPat isn't, unfortunately. But
yeah,
luckily the guy
game
was replaced.
Theory itself is.
It's different now, yeah. And
I haven't seen the new guy in action.
I've seen some videos of him, and he's actually quite really good. I like him, so I think they found a good replacement for him.
Good.
So yeah, it's I can understand the difficulty of it, because when you have a sensation like Final Fantasy Freddy's was and still is, stopping it at its peak creatively can be for the best, because end it while it's at its peak and leave people wanting more instead of people wanting it to be over with. But financially, for example, it makes sense, why Final Fantasy Freddy's can't stop when it's this big. Of course, they got to make more and more. So I understand it, and understand how difficult it is to take a story that works so well in this confined space and how do you make that fresh again and again and again? And so it's not easy, I can get that, but how the results, personally, the original four is the original four games. They are peak FNAF for me at least.
I could agree with that, honestly.
Yeah. Just have to see where things go next.
Yep, I guess so.
I guess so. I don't have.
All right, let's. Oh, you don't have any more?
I have one more point here, and it says closing words.
Closing words. Great.
Yeah. So it was kind of nice. I was hoping we could keep these episodes at around an hour, and I think we are about an hour in now, perhaps. So that's
we
nice.
are. Hold on, I can check. We are an hour, 5 minutes, and about 28 seconds.
Nice.
So
it's pretty fitting.
Yeah, I would say this was honestly before this started. You just setting up, I was like, oh my god. It's surreal that this happened.
Oh, we got it to work in the end.
Yeah, because I mean, let's be real. In the early days of 5 Nights at Wario's, I did actually follow the series. It started off watching it in Markiplier's video, and then I started following the series. I even followed it all the way to the old, outdated full story. I watched that waiting for the library to open.
Oh, nice.
And when the library opened, I just kept watching the video.
Wow, that's nice.
So,
then it hooked you in.
I will
that
say,
makes me glad.
FNAF, yes, you did. FNAF makes so much more sense than Five Nights at Freddy's. This is just my opinion. Because I think you made a point in the outdated full story that anything is possible if you see the reasoning.
Yeah, I think I have a philosophy that you can run with something and just really, own it if you go all in and have a reason for something to exist. So I thought if Five Nights at Freddy's with Super Mario characters, it's a bit weird. Why is this a thing? But I think, yeah, but it is weird, and it doesn't make sense. So why not, own that? Make a grandiose story, and a grandiose story with Mario characters in a serious supernatural world. Isn't that very weird? Yes, it is. So give it a reason for being like this. Why are these two completely different worlds colliding? What is there a reason for that? Yes, there is. So figure out that reason and why you're making it, and then own it and go for it. Go all in. Have fun. That's it.
So I know that I've seen a few questions in the chat. I wish we kind of answered those.
Oh yeah. Do you remember any of them? This is so new for me because
so I'm looking through
the chat.
I don't know if Newt is still here, but he asked your thoughts on the trailer for Black Ops 7 Zombies.
From what I've seen, I think it's very interesting. It's been getting a lot of complaints because you hear some mechanics returning from the previous game and stuff, and that this will just be Black Ops 6.5 and it will be the same thing again. But we don't know squat about the game yet. We know some core mechanics are coming back. That's the case with every game. Every new Call of Duty has core mechanics that are, being carried over to the next installment. It's the same thing here. And for all the new stuff, we haven't heard anything yet. And people are saying that this will just be a glorified DLC, even though we haven't gotten a proper zombies reveal yet. It is coming in September and people are already freaking out. I think
yes.
we shouldn't freak out yet. Wait until we know stuff.
They're too quick to assume.
They're quick, yes. exactly. I think so. So I like to have the benefit of the doubt that this could be great, but we don't know yet. So until we know, uh, we have to admit that we don't know. You know?
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, the same thing happened with the Super Mario movie. The
Yeah.
whole casting reveal, people thought it was a joke, and
Yes.
then when the movie came out, it became great.
Yes. There were so many memes of compilations of people reacting to the
Oh
cast.
yeah,
It's so fun.
yes,
Seeing Jack Black as
yes,
Bowser,
those
for
were
example, people losing their
yes,
minds, and then he
and
comes
then
along.
Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong.
Yep, and then it comes along and it works great.
Yes, it does.
I at least think so.
And honestly, I was one of those things where I was like, you know what, people are dissing this. I'm gonna give it a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the same thing with the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Yeah.
And all honesty, I won't say it was perfect, but it was probably the best end result. And I'm really looking forward to the second movie, which is dropping December.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go see that in theaters.
I think that's a healthy attitude to have. Give things a chance before judging them based on what came before and what the echo chamber of the internet is saying, because you don't really know how much of that is just mindless repetition of what is popular to say and what is genuine criticism. So I too really look forward to the second FNAF movie. I have to watch it again, the first one, but from what I remember, I had some issues with the story, but the visuals, the animatronics, God, they were. I don't know how they made them so perfect, but they did somehow.
Mhm.
And the second one will apparently be will be darker, more gory.
Yeah, if anything, I think the toy animatronics, the way they're designed, they look so much like how they appeared in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Like the same shape, the shininess,
Hmm.
the well, actually, they kind of appear more shiny, but they're kind of like spot on,
Yeah, I think so too.
and
Really,
that's very interesting.
this will be very interesting. I have on my list. I have a plan to make a review or my thoughts on the first FNAF movie. I haven't gotten around to make that yet, but I have it in my to-do list.
Yeah, and then you got to follow up with the second one when it comes out. Then
Yep.
you'll be all caught up.
Yep, that's the plan. Dr. Fork asks if
So I got a question
Jack
for you.
Black will voice Bowser in 2 Deluxe, and yes,
Oh my god, man. Yes.
he will.
I can just imagine it right now. The backstory, he's just like fire.
Imagine, like a announcement trailer for 2 Deluxe, and then in this Final Freddy's Wario fan game, there comes a personal message from Jack Black that he's going to voice Bowser, dead Bowser, in this. Oh my god.
Yeah, people are wondering how the like who's voicing who. I know they want Daco back, but I do know that something like that's kind of difficult because Daco's become so much bigger.
Mm.
Razbowski's become so much bigger, and it's so hard to get into contact with them than it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, I did message, I think, both Daco and at least Raspowski, about 3 Deluxe, actually. They have both responded like several times in throughout the years that they want to do stuff, but then it's hard to get in contact with them after that, and it's because they are busy and they have probably DMs coming in and day out. So it's very understandable,
Yeah.
and that is why, unfortunately, we probably will recast both of them, not because I want to. I want to have them back more than anything, but I don't think. I think the fellas are too busy, unfortunately.
Hmm. So I will say this to the stream. My camera's out. I just realized that.
Is it out?
It looks like it is on the stream. I didn't realize that.
There, it's back, I think.
Oh fuck! So I was watching the stream on my phone. I forgot that I had scrolled back an hour or so.
Oh, exactly.
Okay. Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Man.
It was something about Raz, Dalko casting. Something about.
I can't remember.
Then you can save it for the next episode because you'll probably remember that.
Yeah. Yes, probably.
Probably.
Maybe I'll create my own bulletins like you did.
That can work. I usually forget stuff, so I like to have a bullet point list.
Cool.
I have, like, speaking of those two, I have asked Dalko to join us in a future episode on this podcast, and he said yes with several exclamation marks. So if he has time, hopefully he's gonna join us.
That's pretty good.
That's cool. Have a lot of stuff we can talk.
I feel like that would be a finale type of thing, though, like a season like closer, because you got like this is probably the biggest person you'd get on this thing, which is just a great closer.
Yep, I think so too. Definitely. Hopefully he'll get the time to do so.
Especially with Deluxe 2 coming out.
True. We can only hope.
Because he played a big part in that.
He did. He's part of FNAF history.
In the original. Not Deluxe 2, the original.
Yep.
Let's get that clear.
Yeah. He's an important part of
All right,
Warriors.
Yes, he is. All right, well, should we end it here, my friend?
I think so. I think this is a good place to end it.
All right. This was
This was fun. This was really fun.
Definitely.
Went with,
and it was great speaking to you.
Same thing. It's oh man, there's a lot of stuff we can talk about. So we have can't wait for future episodes. I'm not sure who we're gonna bring on as our first guest. That will be announced.
I have a few ideas.
Nice.
We will start small and then go bigger.
I think that's
the episodes continue.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's a good idea. Build it up a bit.
So, guys, expect to see maybe creators here and there, maybe YouTubers. You never know.
Never know
what could happen on TripleTake.
Nope. Not even we know what's going to happen.
Yeah, we were supposed to have a Line Storm on here. Unfortunately, he had a scheduling issue. So we just decided it was going to be me and Andy.
Yep.
But I did tell you that he did a really good Max Peterson voice, and that he could be the backup if you really want that voice.
Oh yeah,
he said he'd be willing to do it.
Nice, can't wait to hear that. Maybe he will join us in the next episode.
Maybe I'll get him to he could probably do it on the episode.
Yeah.
Show it off to the whole audience.
He could take some get some voice line requests to say live from our little live chat over there. Say this and that quote, as Max Peterson.
He would love that.
Think so.
All right, man. Well, this was fun.
This was fun.
Very fun.
So
Yeah. It's a good return to the live streams.
Yeah, definitely. I like this format. I like just to sit here and talk.
It's very calming.
Mm-hmm. Agree. Next time, there will be 3 of us. We have a lot of more stuff to talk about. We'll announce it beforehand. Not sure when it's going to be. Sometimes when all our schedules meet. When the stars align, we'll be back.
All right. Well, I gotta go. Wario just appeared at my window, as you can see.
Oh, there you go.
I did this edit a while back. Wario just peeking through the window.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Oh yeah, it's
nice.
It's so old though, which and it was made for Cabin Fever, which I honestly wish it gotten used, and it would have been this whole you kind of when you turn the lights on, you can't see outside the window. Only when you turn them off, you can.
Oh.
And the thing is, Wario can see you whether or not the lights are on or off. So you got to make sure they're off before he stops at the window. Otherwise, he knows you're there.
Cool. Nice. That sounds cool. Oh man, we got to get.
That's how it would have worked out.
Yeah, that sounds cool. And we gotta get Taggy in here for an episode.
Yes, we do.
It's been a long time since I talked to that guy.
He's kind of branched off from Five Nights at Wario's.
That makes sense. Really fun to hear what he's up to these days.
But he's still making games. He's just kind of working on more Mario fan games. He did this chicken nuggets series, which is like this. I don't even really know that much about it, but he'd probably love to tell you about it.
Nice, yeah.
So maybe he can fill you in.
Cool. Looking forward to it.
Oh yeah. All right, man. Well, take care of yourself.
Take care.
And have a good night.
Have a good night.